We are back with more What's Now. COVID-19 has changed everything, but what about when you have a newborn? Adds to the stress and worry. Do you still need to take your newborn to those well baby visits? Well, Dr. Tanya Altmann has all this information and more right now.
COVID-19 has changed the way we live literally overnight. Pediatricians across the country are urging new parents to not skip out on important well baby visits, but new moms are understandably concerned about what to do after delivery. So many questions and not enough answers can cause any mom to worry. Dr. Tanya Altmann is a leading pediatrician and author, and she's joining us to share insights on everything moms need to know to keep their newborn healthy, especially now. Thanks, Dr. Altmann, for talking with us.
Thank you for having me.
So, Dr. Altmann, what are some of the unique concerns that moms have during this time with the pandemic?
So, new parents have so many concerns about protecting their family, especially from COVID right now. But in some ways, it's exactly what we always recommended to protect a newborn and keep them from catching any germs in general, such as washing your hands, staying home, keeping baby away from others, so social distancing. And also, it's very important, especially now, to remember that you must take your baby to the pediatrician's office for regular well child checkups because we still have to physically touch your baby and examine them from head to toe, weigh them, make sure they're feeding well, and then answer all the usual well baby questions that moms have both prior to COVID and now.
So it's not a good idea just to wait and catch up with these when perhaps the pandemic is a little more under control, correct?
No, you do not want to wait. Pediatricians are keeping their office very safe and clean and really limiting it to the well babies that do need to be seen. You don't want to miss out on anything by skipping the pediatrician, examining your baby, weighing your baby, making sure they're feeding well, and even giving appropriate vaccines because these are all things that are really critical for proper infant development.
And when you mention feedings, how can we handle babies dealing with tummy issues? I know that's a common problem with newborns.
It is, and I get a lot of questions and emails from parents asking about baby tummy issues like colic and fussiness and gassiness. And even diaper rash and eczema have been linked to an overgrowth of bad bacteria in an infant gut and not enough of the good protective bacteria. In fact, we know that 90% of new babies in the United States today are actually missing the important good gut bacteria called B. infantis, which is critical during the first 6 months of life to help for the development of the immune and metabolic development. So to help decrease such tummy troubles and help set a foundation for good gut health, I recommend feeding babies a daily probiotic. And Avivo is the only infant probiotic that contains the unique strain of B. infantis EBC001, which is clinically proven to help increase good gut bacteria and decrease the bad gut bacteria by 80%.
And we hear that you have a Bring Baby Home checklist that might be really helpful for viewers. Can you tell us more about it?
Definitely. So there are certain items that it is best to have on hand before you bring baby home, because especially right now, you don't want to be running to the grocery store if you need something. So the first thing is a rectal thermometer, as this is really still the gold standard to take a baby's temperature. And if the number reads 100.4 or higher, that means your newborn does have a fever and you must call your pediatrician and have them seen right away because babies can get very sick very quickly. I also like parents to have infant acetaminophen or Tylenol on hand in case I recommend that they give it to their baby for pain or fever. And I also want to make sure they know the appropriate dose since we dose infant Tylenol by weight and not age. Also, it's a good idea to make sure everybody at home gets their vaccines before you bring baby home to provide a protective shield around baby to protect them against whooping cough and the flu, because these are vaccines that your newborn is too young to get. So by protecting everyone else around them, you can keep these infections out of your house and away from baby. There's also supplements I like parents to have on hand, such as vitamin D, which is really important to help babies build strong bones, and also a probiotic containing B. infantis EBC001, since we know that babies are born with a sterile gut and they acquire the first bacteria during the birth process. So feeding them Avivo every day can help establish good gut bacteria from day one. And the last thing is to have a mask at home. And this is actually something that I recommended even before COVID, because if parents or caregivers feel a cold coming on or they're sick, you want to wear a mask and wash your hands extra frequently, especially before you feed or hold your baby, because this is the best way to keep germs away from your baby at all times.
Where can we get more information?
For more information on protecting your baby from day one, please visit avivo.com.
Will do. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Altmann, for walking us through this potentially stressful time with a newborn and COVID-19. We really appreciate your advice.
Thank you. Stay safe and healthy.